Hey, sorry for mixing up the link on you guys this morning. Some of you had to zig a little bit this morning. I had to jump on the other link, and we've got a meeting going on the other link at 8 o'clock that some of our coastal managers are running. So thanks for being flexible this morning. We're going to be using this link on Fridays just because our coastal team has something going on at 8 o'clock. So I think most of you guys got the memo. It looks like most of you did, but there might be a few of your teammates that did not. So you might want to help them out with that. Post on your group WhatsApp if there's somebody on your team that you knew was planning on being on that didn't make it yet. Just let them know that. And Trey, I see there's a couple other people that are still signing on that I told our managers to let them know. So guys, Friday morning, Trey talked about how great the phone time was going to be. But I'm going to tell you, we are about to go into the weekend, and this last leg of the SC2 push is going to be insane, okay? It's very, very typical that people sell more between Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday in the last 4 days of this push than they sold in the previous 11, okay? And I mean, we had some people yesterday that had their biggest orders of the push yesterday. We had people match what they had done so far for the push yesterday, okay? So you should fully be expecting, how's that cereal, Jacob? Good? Good cereal? You should
Eggs, but thanks.
all right, cool. You should fully be expecting, guys, to set yourself up this weekend to put yourself in a place where you can get one of those top 20 spots. What happens between your two temples and in your mind, you're gonna decide before you go into today and into the weekend, you're gonna decide what you're gonna sell. You know, Trey talked about setting your intentions and your expectations. Every single day I go into a day, you know, I like to do a couple things, and you probably journaled a little bit when Trey was walking you through that. You know, I like to number one, ask myself, okay, what am I thankful for? What am I grateful for? You guys did that yesterday, and you probably did that this morning. I saw Hunter Taylor put up a post from East Greenville, and he talked about starting his day yesterday, being grateful for a couple things, helped him to look at the day differently. It helped him to look at the day and think about all the things that he had that were going right instead of all the things that were not going the way that he wanted them to go. And a lot of people wake up in the morning and they think about the things that are not going the way that they want them to go. And their day is dictated, the rest of the day is dictated by that thought process. So start your day with being grateful for things. Start your day with all the things that are good in your life and that you're grateful for. Can you take a minute to jot down 3 to 5 things? That led to Hunter yesterday selling almost $3,000. He was over 2K, close to 3K in sales for the day. And he referenced that being one of the things that really helped set him up for that. Out of our call yesterday, he was number one yesterday between Georgia and Coastal, and I saw that post from him and just wanted to reference that. The second thing that I like to do is, you know, also ask myself, hey, what's one thing that I learned today? What's one thing that I learned today or yesterday, if I'm doing it at the end of the day or if I'm getting ready for the day? What's one thing that I learned yesterday that I can take into the next day? What's one thing that I learned that I can really, you know, take into the next day? And then, you know, when you're setting your intentionality and you're kind of getting focused for the day, create a big 3 objectives. You know, number one, what's your CPO mission? When you go into a day, you should have a mission for your CPO. Kristen, Todd, how many demos do you have today? Kinsey, how many?
4.
What's your mission today? What's your CPO mission? Did you write it down yet?
I haven't.
Write it down. What's it going to be? You got 4 demos. What's your average order going to be today? You decide. Miss Jones doesn't decide. Kinsey Todd decides. What's the number?
2,000 total.
Okay. So repeat after me, Kinsey. I am selling $2,000 today.
I'm selling $2,000.
No. Like you mean it. I am selling $2,000 today.
I'm selling $2,000 today.
Miss Jones, I am selling $2,000 today.
Miss Jones, I'm going to sell $2,000 today.
And then Kinsey, what I want you to do is write it on your hand, okay? And when you're sharing your goals, I want you to put that up to the camera today, and I want you to show her, this is what I'm selling today, Miss Jones. I've got a couple demos today. This is what I'm going to sell. Hey, by the way, if you want to go ahead and take care of it all right now, we could totally do that. I can give you the short version real quick if you want, and we could just write this up. I can go hang out with my buddies for the rest of the day. I wouldn't actually do that. I would just help hit my. But if you want to, I'm just kidding, Michelle. But if you want, seriously, you want to? You want the short version or the long version?
Short version.
Todd, I'm just kidding. But that's my goal. That's what I'm gonna sell today. Like, share with her what your mission is. Be clear with her what your mission is, what you want to accomplish. It's okay to share your goals with people, right? Kinsey, number 2, second question. When you're creating your big 3, how many recommendations are you going to create today on 4 demos?
10 each person at least.
Okay, so repeat after me. I am going to get 40 recommendations today.
I'm going to get 40 recommendations
I am
today.
going to get 40 recommendations today.
I'm going to get 40 recommendations today.
And then how many demos do you need to book today to be completely booked for today, tomorrow, and Sunday? For you to feel really good about your schedule for the next 3, how many more demos do you need to book?
0.
Awesome. How good does that feel?
Great. And I have all of Monday booked as well. Up till
Bam.
tonight.
Love it. So if you happen to get a reschedule or a cancellation, that might become your 3rd one. But your 3rd one, you decide what that 3rd one's going to be. Maybe your 3rd one might be selling a particular set or selling your first package or something like that. So just kind of being intentional with that is really key. It helps when you go into the week, Kinsey, with like 20-something appointments, doesn't it?
Yes, a lot.
It helps. So, guys, great job overall yesterday. I want to recognize from both divisions, these were in between 750 and 1,000. We had in between 750 and 1,000 yesterday from both divisions. Emery Allen, Amber Carlson, Garrett Smith, Michael Gilligan, Christian Young. Those are in between 750 and 1,000. And then also Caroline Hegwood, just shy of 1,000. Bruno Rodriguez, Natalie Pereira, Chloe Burgess, all between 750 and 1,000. And then over 1,000, we had James Cox, Jacob Lamb, Maddie Goodart, Matt Tushin, Hunter Taylor, Tinsley Bailey, Olivia Phillips, Sarah Nardi, Kyle Gonzalez, Jeremiah Johnson, J.P. Lambert, Jayla McLeod, Elizabeth Woodson, Kara Kelly, and Luis, a double Luis squared. So as I'm looking at this, the people that sold 1,500 or more yesterday, guys, the people that sold 1,500 or more, they had 3 or 4 orders. So maybe Kinsey number 3 is 4 orders today. 4 orders pretty much set yourself up for a $1,500+ day. It might be 1,500, it might be $5,000. It depends on the day what your average order is. You decide, but for you it's going to be 2,000+ because that's what you already told yourself. When you have intentions and you have a mentality, your day is going to be different. I also want to reference one more thing. There was a scenario and a situation that I had with somebody, and he'll know who he is when I say this. He after one demo yesterday, he goes, "Man, this is just going to be a bad day." He had 4 demos for the day. Okay, he goes after the first one, he goes, "Man, this is going to be a bad day." I'm like, dude, you have 3 more demos. But mentally, he started to tell himself that it was going to be a bad day. As soon as you let your mind win, your mind will control you, but you decide how your mind works, okay? You decide how your mind works. Your mind wants to go to the place. What the hell? Hold on a second. Wow, that's beautiful. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. That was awesome. Whoever that was, that's glorious. That's awesome. Okay. So your mind decides basically what happens is you get this thought in your mind, okay? And you get to decide if you let that thought into your mind and how much you let it move. Your mind is a muscle, okay? And your mind is going to start to create what you want, what starts to enter into your mind, unless you control what you want your mind to be telling yourself. And by the way, it's not always easy to think positively. It's not always easy to, when you have a no sale on your first appointment, it's not always easy to think positively about the rest of the day, is it? It's not easy. you have to decide, you have to make the mental decision about what's going to happen and how it's going to be different. Let me tell you a quick story. So I have 5 demos set up for the day. Okay. I told him this story yesterday. I have 5 demos set up for the day. My first demo, no sale. 3 more reschedules. I get to my 4th demo. I call her and she goes, Ben, I'm so sorry. I forgot it's my birthday. I go, hey, Miss Klump, it's okay. I'll be sitting here waiting for you. What's your favorite thing from Starbucks? I know what she was going to tell me. She was going to be like, oh, no, don't worry. I'm like, what's your favorite thing from Starbucks? So I just handled the situation. I was like, I'll be sitting here waiting for you whenever you get home. If it's an hour, no problem. I'll be sitting here waiting. I'm just going to make some calls. And she got back. She purchased $1,500 in like 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. Okay. It was her birthday, right? I hooked her up a little bit. I gave her like a, petite santoku for free or something. And then the last demo of the day, I sold a little over $5,000 on it. Okay. It was an ultimate set plus some cookware, something like that. It ended up being a 5K day, but up until 4 p.m., it felt like the day was going to suck. Okay. See, you got to understand that every demo and every situation and every scenario that you get in, you are in control. Nobody else is. But your mind, you have to decide what you want to create before it happens. Otherwise, your results will be created for you by somebody else. I'm going to say that again. You have to decide what you want to create. Otherwise, your results will be created for you by somebody else. So let's talk about how to impact your presentations when a customer doesn't want everything in the set. Raise your hand if you've had a client say, oh, I don't know if I use that tool. And you kind of tried to sell them on it and it just didn't work. And then you ended up having to drop down and sell them a customized order. Have you done that? What if you could just sell them what if you could still sell them a set? The homemaker set, the set that the company calls the homemaker, isn't the only way you can sell a homemaker. The galley set that Cutco makes, it's not the only way you can sell a galley set. Okay? Guys, I've very rarely dropped below a homemaker set. And the reason why is I would customize the set for her. Okay? I'm not saying I didn't sell like, $300 or $400 on some demos. The only time I would ever sell like $300, $400, $500 was if the lady had to go. Like in the middle of the demo, Haley, act like my customer, be like, oh, Ben, I really got to go.
Oh, Ben, I really have to go.
This is a challenge. She does not really have to go literally that second. She's telling you that she has to go soon. Okay. So I know in that scenario, my demo might be a little bit different. I'm not going to have a no sale because she has to go. No way. Okay. But I'm going to change a little bit about what I might need to do. Okay. In that scenario, I might have to drop down and sell her a few pieces real quick and do a buy 5, get a pair of shears for free. I might just have to do it. Okay. But I'm not going to have a no sale because she has to go. No way. Right. I'm not going to call her back later because she had to go in the middle of the demo. Are you kidding me? We might not get a hold of each other. Right. I get one shot, one opportunity. Right. Like I'm assuming that I'm never going to talk to this lady ever again. That's the way you have to think. Because if you don't close it on the demo, the chance of you working it out with her later, it's slim to none. Okay. Maybe it works out for you, but hey, I'll give you a pat on the back if it does, but just trust me, you don't want to be in that situation. Okay. That's a waste of your time. That's a waste of your life. That's a waste of your energy. So just drop down, find her something you can go ahead and do right then. Okay. Hey, Haley, I respect that you got to go, but I also know that you like the knives, right?
Yeah.
So it's my job to go ahead and help you get something real quick. Hey, I can do one of two things. I can either write you up for the full set real quick if you know you're sold on that right now, or we can just drop down and do a customized order real quick. Which would you prefer?
We can just go ahead and do the set. That's fine.
But see, there you go. The main thing is she has to feel, Haley, she has to feel like you have a solution to that problem and that you're still going to make a
sale.
She cannot feel like that she's in control when she says that and the demo's done and the demo's over. She has to feel like you're listening to her, but you're still going to make a
sale.
Because no sales don't
Sell.
No sales don't. Who wants to help her out? No sales
Oh,
don't
exist. Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
it's
exist.
okay.
I
It's
am not
okay.
thinking this morning. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I know I can be a little intense sometimes. No
No, you're
sales
good.
don't exist, right? Like in my mind, they just don't exist. Okay. So let's talk about this. How do we customize sets? How do we work with a client to kind of customize a set? Okay. Here's how to do it. So this can be really beneficial when you're working with somebody who either already owns Cutco or they don't like something in the set. But the first thing you have to do is you have to make sure that they feel comfortable expressing that to you. Let me show you how to make sure customers feel comfortable expressing something to you. Let me give you a few phrases that can really help. Okay. First, right after the guarantee. If you're not saying this, I would say this is probably the most impactful part of my presentation. Right after the guarantee, I've said this line to you multiple times on multiple different occasions, but if it hasn't clicked for you yet, maybe today it will, okay? Here's the line. Right after the guarantee, okay? Right after the guarantee. Ms. Hegwood. So, Ms. Hegwood, I just want to thank you so much for seeing me today. And hey, by the way, real quick, I'm going to mute everybody out. There's a couple people that aren't muted. Caroline, hold on a second. There we go, Caroline. Good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, hey, Ms. Jones, I just want to thank you again for seeing me today. And I want to let you know before we get into the sets, Cutco has a lot of different options, but I want you to know I don't want to sell you anything that you're not going to need or use. I want to make sure that what you choose to get today, that your family's going to love, you're going to enjoy, and you're going to use every single day for the rest of your life.
All right.
Caroline, the point here is I want her to know that I'm on her what?
Side.
Yeah, that's the key. I'm on her side. I'm going to say that again. Hey, Miss Hegwood, I just want to thank you again for seeing me today. Hey, by the way, I just want to let you know that Cutco has a lot of different options. And before we get into everything, and I show you everything that Cutco has to offer, I just want to let you know, I don't want to sell you something that you're not going to need or use. I want to make sure that what you choose to get today, that you're going to love, you're going to enjoy, and your family's going to love and enjoy literally every single day for the rest of your life. Because Cutco is not just for today, it's not just for this year, it's forever. And the set that you get, the package that you get, the Cutco kitchen that you get, you're going to literally pass it down to your kids, and they're going to have it for their lifetime as well. So I want to ask you a few questions to figure out which set's going to be best for you. And remember from the beginning of the demo, the average family spends $15,000 to $20,000 on kitchen products anyway. The average family is going to replace their kitchen knives multiple times over the course of their life, probably 10 times. The average family is going to replace their flatware 4 or 5 times or cookware 4 or 5 times over the course of their life. So I just want to make sure that what you choose to get today is going to be seamless in your kitchen. It's going to make things easier and that you're going to love it. And it's going to make things easier in the kitchen. Cool?
Sure.
So a couple questions for you. And here's the questions. Do you cook 1 to 2 nights a week, 2 to 3 or 4 or more? Do you cook because you like to, love to, or have to? And then when you entertain, do you entertain for 10, 12, 16, or is it more like 40 or 50? She answers those questions. I go into the knives. Now, that's the first spot I make her feel comfortable with me, okay? And I'm making her feel comfortable when I'm building rapport all the way through, but I want her to really know that I want to get what's best for her, okay? Does that make sense, Caroline?
Yes.
Then when you start to go into the tools, what you want to say is this. And the point of this line, Caroline, is I want to make sure that she feels comfortable telling me something that she doesn't like. Because I need to know that so I can present a solution to her instead of that item. Okay? So here's what I say. I go, hey, Ms. Hegwood, I just want to let you know as we're going through the tools here, if there's something that I show you, and after I show it to you, you're like, Ben, you're thinking to yourself, you're like, Ben, I would never use that. And you're literally like telling yourself that over and over and over. And you're like, stop telling me about this knife. I hate that knife. Like, just tell me that, because there's probably something that I could do for you in place of it if I needed to. Does that make sense, Ms. Hegwood?
Yes.
So just one more time, I'll say that again. When you're going into the tools, you're just kind of seed planting this in case you need it. It's not like you don't say it like this. You don't go, hey, Miss Hegwood, just so you know, I can switch out every knife in the set if you need me to. No, that's garbage. That's so hard for you if you create that idea for a client. No, you just say, hey, Caroline, I just want to let you know, hey, as I'm going through this, like I said, I want you to really enjoy everything. If there's one tool that I show you that you're thinking to yourself, you're like, Ben, I would never use that.
Good morning.
Hey, just let me know that.
Good. I wanted you to hop in real quick and see.
Trey. Oh.
I got it. I just muted him. Sorry.
People on the workshop, they can't miss this.
We're gonna have to update host settings in a little bit. Okay, so back to Caroline. So Caroline, that line, it basically sets it up to where she can feel comfortable letting you know a tool that she wouldn't like. Does that make sense? Okay, now let's do an example of a couple knives, okay, and how to price it out. So let's say, Caroline, you get to the butcher knife and she's like, I don't know if I'd use that. Now, what you guys have learned about closing is that the client has to feel like it's normal when she expresses a concern. She has to feel like you have a solution to her problem, right? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. She has to feel like you deal with this all the time. She can't feel weird about it, that it's an abnormal concern. Okay, she has to feel like you have a solution. So let's say we're going through the butcher knife, Caroline, and you're like, I don't know if I'd use that tool. Okay, you just go, hey, Miss Hegwood, no problem. It's not a big deal. Let me show you something, Miss Hegwood, that I think you would really enjoy. Okay, I'm gonna screen share real quick, and I'm gonna go to this. I'll come back to that document. Let's say we're on our, can you see that, Caroline?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's say you all close on either an ultimate or you're doing a dual close between a signature and a kitchen system, okay? But we always, utilize the videos on this section because they're awesome. So, okay, when I'm going through this, and I know George Division, your demo is slightly different, but you still have very similar videos in your video. Ours are just separated, okay? So let's say, for example, she's like, I don't know if I'd use the butcher knife, okay? Hey, no problem. Ms. Hegwood, can you hear me still?
Yes.
Hey, no problem. What you're saying is totally normal, and I've had people say that before. Check this out, Ms. Jones. So what we could actually do you see this cheese knife right here?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people actually switch out with the cheese knife. You could use that, or you could go right here and show her the cheese knife. I kind of like that, so they can see all the knives at once. And I could switch it out with the cheese knife. And literally, I just put the cheese knife in the butcher knife hole. So I'm selling her a homemaker set with a cheese knife instead of a butcher knife. That's it. It goes in that hole. You're probably wondering to yourself, Ben, how do you know it goes in that hole? Well, if you go to Vector Connect and you type in template right here, you just type in template. You can see the templates for the sets. So let's say the homemaker, I can see which knives fit in which holes. Okay. So Caroline, let's say I'm looking at a butcher knife. I can see all of the options. Spatula spreader. Maybe she loves the spatula spreader. I just sell her an extra spatula spreader. Maybe she, likes the cheese knife. Okay. Says traditional cheese knife. And of course you could fit one of the smaller cheese knives in there too. If it's smaller than the knife, of course you can fit it. Okay. Like it doesn't say Caroline a trimmer, but if she loved the trimmer, you think I could throw another trimmer in the butcher knife hole?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, of course, right? I could throw a paring knife. I could throw a 4-inch paring knife. If it's smaller than the knife, you can do it. And another thing that you can do, guys, is you can actually put 2 knives in a lot of the holes. You can put a butcher knife. I could put a trimmer and a 4-inch paring knife because they're smaller. If you've ever seen a butcher knife, it's pretty big. It's way bigger than twice the size of this Santoku trimmer. So I could sell her a knife, put one right there, and then cross one over, and I could put 2 knives in one hole. Okay. So I've sold a lot of homemaker blocks with 12 knives in it, instead of the 10 holes that it has. Okay. Let me give you another example. Let's say we're going through the set and she's like, Ben, I don't need both of those forks. Caroline, have you ever heard that before?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you need to make sure she feels like that's what?
That's a normal
Hey,
concern.
no problem. You like the shears though, right? You like the shears though, right?
Yes.
What a lot of people do, Miss Jones, is they just put the shears in one of their fork holes. So you could do the turning fork or the carving fork, and then we'll just put the shears in in the other slot. So it'll look like, so an E or F, you'll just put the shears right there.
Okay.
Let's say she's like, Caroline, I don't like either of the forks. Do shears and a peeler. Peeler in the carving fork hole, and then the shears in the turning fork hole. Bam, bam. You just put those in there. Okay. Let's say she's like, Ben, I don't really love, I don't know if I'd use the larger carving set. Let's say it's a vegetarian. Okay. And she just wouldn't use the larger carving set. She definitely would use the shears. So then you need to find something else instead of the carver. That's really easy. I'll tell you, instead of the carver, guys, a couple good recommendations. Instead of the carver, check this out. Instead of the carver, what you could do, Caroline, is you could do any of the other paring knives, like a gourmet paring knife, bird's beak paring knife, Santoku paring knife, gourmet paring knife. That Santoku trimmer is baller. Okay, it's like a little bit thicker trimmer. It's right here. It's awesome. Like just put that in the carving fork hole or the carving knife hole. Okay. I'll tell you a lot of the switch outs that I do. Let me give you some of the most popular switch outs just so you kind of know. Okay. And you just, when she's like, I don't know if I'd use that, just act like it's totally normal. Okay. Here's some of the most popular switch outs that I do. Okay. In a homemaker set. The spatula spreader. If they don't love the spatula spreader, just switch it out with a cheese knife or a petite Santoku. Cheese knife or a petite Santoku. I would get this down. Cheese knife or petite Santoku. You just switch out the spatula spreader. Bam, you go to a cheese knife or a petite Santoku. Sometimes instead of the small paring knife, they want a paring knife that can cut on a cutting board. And I could do a 4-inch paring knife, which you'll see on the kind of in the 3, 4, 5 knives down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knives down on the 4-inch paring knife. I could switch that out instead of a 2 3/4-inch paring knife. Let me give you another example. We talked about the forks. The petite carver, that's easy. I mean, everybody uses that, no matter what they eat. Chef knife. If they prefer a Santoku, you could switch out a 7-inch Santoku for a 7-inch petite chef. Because her friend loves the petite Santoku and says it's awesome, you could switch that out. Or she's like, I just don't like big knives. Don't fight her on it. Just give her a petite Santoku instead of the chef knife. Why not? Just make her happy, right? She buys the set. Okay. Butcher knife, we talked about that one. Slicer. Let's say I don't do cakes, breads, and pies. Hey, Miss Hegwood, no problem. That's no problem. I'm sure you probably cut some raw chicken sometimes, like the fat off of it, or like cut it into strips or cubes or something.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what a lot of people do, Miss Hegwood. What a lot of people do you see the knife right here that is in the, if you're on the right side, let's see. Right here, this boning knife, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so the boning knife is going to be for anything raw meats. It's a straight edge blade, so it's going to be great for raw meats. Okay, so a lot of people, what they do is they just switch out the slicer for the boning knife. So let me show you what that would look like again. So what we would do is we would just take the same set here, and instead of your slicer, we'll just put in the boning knife.
Okay.
Now, once again, you're doing this for like 1 or 2 tools. I'm just giving you some examples of some scenarios. It's usually not more than 1 or 2. It's usually like 1 or 2 tools that they literally close their whole mind off to the set and the discount of the set because of 1 or 2 tools sometimes. And if you can fix that in their mind and you can provide a solution that she prefers, bam, you're going to sell the set. Now, you're wondering how to price this out. Because if you write down all the price, you can't do like homemaker set minus blank tool. You can't do that. You have to write it all up separately. So the way that you would do it is you would price it out separately. Okay. So not that, we need this. So you would have to price it out separately. Let's say that I was doing a customized set for her. Okay. This thing will pull up. There we go. All right. So let's say I'm doing a customized set for her, and you have to do it customized. You have to separate it. So I'm going to go to Homemaker Pieces. I'm just going to add, and then I'm doing trimmer, and she doesn't like the spatula spreader. So instead, I'm going to switch that out for the cheese knife. Bam, add that to the cart. Okay, good. She's good with the petite carver. She likes the turning fork, but we're going to switch out the carving fork for her for the shears, and I'll do that in a second. She's good with the butcher knife. Instead of the petite chef, she really likes small chopping knives. So I'm going to do the Santoku. Bam, right there. And then she's good with the slicer. She's good with the carver. She doesn't want the carving fork, so instead I'm going to do the shears. Bam, add that. And then table knives. Bam, add to cart. Make sure you put 8 of those in there. And then obviously you're going to need to add the block. So I just go block. And I pick the Homemaker +8 block. Now, a lot of people, Caroline, what you can do is just sell them a signature set block so they can add on more stuff later. Okay. And here's a great question. Hey, so Ms. Jones, what we can do is we can put your Homemaker set in the signature block so that way you can add on the customer requested tools later. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, I would.
And then what you can do, Caroline, is after you kind of show her that, you kind of upsell a little bit. You go, hey, Ms. Jones, it would only be another 100 per month or another 60 per month to add on and finish out your signature set. Do you want to just go ahead and do it right now? Because I can actually give you a little bit more for free.
Okay, let's do
There's
it.
an idea for you. Okay. Okay. So let's say we put in, let's just go, oh no, I'm good with that block. Okay. All right. Now I need to add in the cutting board and the sharpener. Okay. Bam. So my total comes to $15.99, Caroline. Now, you want to figure this out, Caroline, before you go over prices. You want to figure out, if, say, for example, if there's one of the knives when you're going through that she doesn't like, so that way you know to price it a little higher. Like if I'm switching out a cheese knife for a butcher knife, it's about the same price point, so I can just get it to the same price. How do I do that? What I just did here, it's going to cost her a little bit more. And I just tell her, hey, if we need to customize something, it's going to cost you a little bit more. Okay. So she's getting a cheese knife instead of a spatula spreader. That's about 50, 60 bucks more, about 50 bucks more. She's getting a pair of shears instead of a carving fork, so that's about $60 more. It should come out to about 110 more than what she would be paying. So how do I do that? Well, I can just bonus out to get it to where I want to get it to. So that just took me down to $14.82. She's expecting it to cost about 110 more. So that would be about like that. Bam, I just bonused 2 items and I just got it to $14.55. Why is it a little bit more? Because we customized 2 tools that are more expensive than 2 she got. She would have been getting in the set. Does that make sense, Caroline?
Yes.
So you can dictate the prices once you go through and it gives you a number. Then what you can do is you can bonus something out to get it to the price that you want. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pause there for a second. Chat box for me. Chat box for me your biggest takeaway or a question that you have. Chat box for me your biggest takeaway or a question that you have. And as you're doing that, could I do this on a galley or a starter set? Of course you could. Okay. I'm going to clear the cart. Okay. And yeah, you could totally do it on that. Okay. I could do if I needed to drop down, I could do that, right? I could drop down to a customized galley. Well, what does a galley set consist of? Well, a galley set consists of the following tools: paring, trimmer, spatula. So I would just do a paring, trimmer, cheese knife, turning fork or shears, petite carver, petite santoku, slicer. You could still do the same thing on a galley.
Hey, Ben.
Still do the same thing on a galley. How do you figure out prices over 5 months with added tax? Kristen, right here, when you go to checkout, it tells you exactly the price point, Kristen. When you go to checkout, it tells you after you enter, okay, it tells you the prices. Or, Kristen, if you wanted to just do it real quick in your mind, just go, okay, $14.55. Just go in your mind and go, okay, $14.55. I'm on a calculator, Kristen. I just go $14.55 times 1.07 divided by 5. That's about her monthly. So you just add in the tax real quick. Or you can do it on here and it'll just tell you. Okay. Making them feel comfortable after the guarantee before starting the tool is good. Cutco app helps in customizing. Good. Good. They got to go. You still make the sale. Good. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, awesome. Now, last thing I want to review with you, okay? So you've got the orders app, right? You can customize on there. Guys, I would get access to these templates and get these on your computer so you can easily pull them up, because this is very visual, okay? This is very visual. Alexia Brewster, let's say we're working with somebody who has Cutco. Let's say she has 2 knives. She has a paring knife and a trimmer. You just pull this up, Alexia. You just pull this up, and then you can actually just customize. She already has these 2, and then you just add on the rest of the tools to fill up the set.
Okay.
So pretty simple way to customize for somebody who already has Cutco. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do we get these templates?
You just go to right here on vectorconnect.com. Just click on the search and type the word template, and then they'll pop up right here. Okay. On the search engine, just type the word template, and then they'll pop up right there. That's how you get to them. Okay. So last thing that I want to just touch on before we wrap up and start our phone jam, guys, as we get set up to go into next week, okay, you should be thinking about SC1 being a launching pad for the rest of your summer. Tell me about how you feel about your skill set right now comparative to where you were 2 weeks ago. For those of you that have really been taking advantage of these workshops and you've had 8 workshops, 30-minute sessions, really, a lot of them have been like 45. Tell me how you feel about where your skill set is, about how you do your presentations. And for those of you that this is your first workshop, man, now you're like, okay, you attended yesterday's workshop and then you attended today and you're like, okay, now I got to be on the workshops. We're going to continue doing these past SC1, okay? We're going to continue doing these, and you're going to hear more, not just from me and Trey, but you're going to be hearing from other managers as well, and them sharing the goods, okay? So take advantage of the workshops as much as you possibly can. You've got one more weekend during SC1 up through Monday night at midnight, okay? And then how it's going to work is this upcoming Tuesday, we have SC1 conference, which we'll be doing together. And that's going to be from 10 to 3. That's going to be awesome. We've got some phenomenal content prepared. Justin Ford, $1.6 million in career sales, will be speaking at the event. We have 2 Cutco alumni who are both making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in their professional fields right now, coming back to share a little bit of tidbits on their Vector experience and how to maximize the experience to catapult you into your professional careers in the future. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be giving away a bunch of stuff, as you guys know. I want you to make sure, make a note of this. I want you to make sure you do 2 things. Number 1, finish the push strong. No matter where you are right now, you might have been out of town for the last 2 weeks and you just got back and you're ready to rock and roll for this weekend. Hey, crush the end of the push. Whatever you need to do. For those of you that are finishing up your fast start, you've got until Monday night at midnight to finish your fast start. For those of you that are really just rocking and rolling for SC1 right now, it ends on Monday night at midnight. Take full advantage of this weekend, okay? Rock the weekend. That's number 1. Make sure you fill all your appointment slots this morning, tomorrow afternoon. Make sure that you maximize all your appointment slots for the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You have 4 days left in the SC1 push, okay? Number 2, the second thing that I want to reference is set yourself up to use SC1 as a launching pad into the rest of your summer, okay? SC1, coming out of that SC1 event, you're going to have a different mindset. You're going to have a different mentality about what's possible in our business. And I want you to make sure that you arrive with 7 or more demos to SC1 in front of you. You need to be ready to use that information, okay? I would recommend on SC1 day, guys, that you book at least 2 demos after SC1. I'm going to tell you, last year we averaged, between our 2 divisions, we averaged a $600 average order coming off of SC1 that day for anybody who had demos that day, okay? You want to make sure that you've got demos that day after SC1, okay? So I would recommend if you hit Champions Reception will take place right after the event. We'll get some food. Champions Reception's 5K plus. You'll get some food with your local manager. That'll take place pretty much right after the event. Talk to your manager about that. Most of them are doing it right after the event, but there's a few of them are doing the Champions Reception that evening. So talk to your manager about how they're doing Champions Reception in your local organization. But I'd recommend having 2 demos scheduled that day. And you'll want to maximize this morning, Saturday, and Sunday phone jam to tee yourself up to go into next week strong. You should be thinking about going into next week with 10 plus demos, 10 to 15 already lined up in front of you. You know, we talked to Kinsey this morning earlier. She had 20 plus demos going into this past week in front of her already. You know, that set herself up to be in a great place going into the week, okay? So we're going to give away a bunch of Cutco prizes. You arrive with 7, you get 1 entry. You arrive with 10, you get 2 entries. Everyone over 10 gives you an extra entry. So take full advantage of that. So this morning's phone jam, guys, is going to be killer. Same day appointments. If you have any slots that you have not filled yet, make sure you get those booked same day. And it's really all about sharing your goals. Yeah, hey, Ms. Jones, I'm working really, really hard for my scholarship, and I just need 1 more appointment to hit my goal. Hey, you know, Ms. Jones, I'd be willing to do it at midnight tonight if that's what it took to get it in today because I really need to hit my goal. Hey, is there any way? I actually have an appointment at 2. Could you do it at 2 o'clock, or would midnight be better for you? She's probably not going to let you do it at midnight, but she sees how serious you are about hitting your goal. I've never had a client accept my midnight appointment slot, but they hear how serious I am about getting that appointment in, so they want to do it. I've also offered, hey, Ms. Jones, tomorrow I really need one more. Hey, I could do it at 2 or 4. Oh, Ben, I just can't do that. Hey, Ms. Jones, I'll do it at 6 a.m. if you need to, but I really need one more for tomorrow. Is there any way you could help me out and squeeze me in? And then she usually is like, you know what, I could do it later than 4, and then I offer another appointment. But does she hear how serious you are about booking that day and that slot that you need? Does she realize how big of a deal it is to you? Okay. Yeah. Hey, sometimes if you need to, guys, offer sending her a $5 Starbucks. Literally, if it's a morning appointment slot that you need tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and you really want an 8 a.m. slot to fill your day for tomorrow, hey, Ms. Jones, I'll go ahead and send you a Venmo tonight so you can grab Starbucks before our appointment. Or you know what? Heck, I'll even get some coffee delivered to you from Uber Eats. It might cost me 10 or 12 bucks, but you know what? I'm going to send it to you. You want me to send you breakfast too? I'll send you some eggs and you can eat while we're on the demo. You want me to do that? That'd be perfect. Okay. And most of the time she doesn't allow it. Sometimes she's like, yeah, actually I do, Ben, but I'll do that appointment with you. And if she does, spend the 10 bucks, spend the 8 bucks. It's worth it. You're about to sell her $1,000 with a Cutco at 20%, 30% commission. You make $200-300 bucks. Be a business owner. Invest in yourself and in your business to get the things that you want in life. Okay. It is 8:56. Miss Jones is dying for you to call her and book up an appointment with her. So let's go to work, guys. Rock and roll in your phone jam. I have a 9 o'clock to hop to, so I'm going to hop to that. Rock your phone jams this morning. Anything less than 20 calls, that's not a real phone jam. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's get your schedule teed up for the next 3 days. Unless you have all of your appointment slots booked through Monday, like Kenzie Todd, you need to be on the phone making 20 calls this morning. Have a great day. Bye-bye.